we're the K3, and this is our weekly watch list. I am not gonna lie. This sheltering in place is starting to take its toll on me. I'm not working, and I just keep finding projects that I have to get done in my apartment because we're sheltering in place, and my apartment is trashed right now because of that. So I do apologize that some of my drama watching is a little frenetic this week. So it's a little crazy, but I do want to say thank you to all of you, and especially you, Marisa and Marco. This is one thing that keeps me sane. So thank you very much. I just want to say that to everyone. We understand, and hopefully coming here helps you guys out a little bit to discuss some K-dramas because, whoo boy, it's tough.
I know we need an escape more than ever. So binging these K-dramas, it's like so much joy. Although I have to say, I've gotten less forgiving with some of these K-dramas.
I am ruthless with some of them. I'm like 3 episodes done. You are dead to me, right? Like I have no patience for them. I think it's because I don't have like a work day to split it up where I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, I kind of liked it last time. Like it'll be fine. I'll enjoy it. I have nothing else to think about. So yeah, ruthless completely. It's hilarious. All right, so let's get started with our ruthless cuts of K-dramas this week. First up, when the weather is nice. Marisa, how is that going? Like I'm seeing people on Twitter like loving it, getting a little frustrated. Like where are we at?
For me, I love it. I can see how you could be frustrated by it. The pace is different. The tropes are a mile a minute, but there is just something about Park Min-young and So Kang-joon together, both damaged people who have found each other. And guess what? They knew each other when they were 10.
Shut up. No. Really?
Big surprise.
Stunned. Shocked, I say, Marisa.
He has loved her since the first moment he saw her.
Of course he did. Did we not know that from the first frame of the first minute of the first time the episode 1?
Yeah, except we thought it was when they were in high school. Turns out it was when they were kids.
Okay. All right. So beautiful. I mean, sometimes it's very satisfying. I'm not saying that to be dismissive. I'm just saying it's so hilarious because it's like, of course he did.
Of course he did, right? Yeah. And this is the thing, like that exact same trope in a different show. I'm like, ridiculous. But in this one, it's just, I don't know, it's feeding all the right things that I need right now.
Absolutely.
Between this show and A Piece of Your Mind, I'm just so emotional and just like, oh no, her mother died. And her mother died, and his mother died, and
everyone's dead.
Yes. So K-dramas, you deliver when we need you to.
Always.
Yeah, so this is it. The show has basically shifted to So Kang-joon's story, Hawon's story, and he was raised by.
Wait, his name is Hawon also?
I'm sorry. Where did I get that from? No, that's a Piece of Your Mind, right? His name is Yeonsub.
I'm like, wait a second, that would be amazing.
I know, right? My mistake. Im Yeonsub, and. So he was born to 2 loners essentially who lived up in the woods. And so his uncle reappears to ask for money. Meanwhile, Yeonsub's mother is just panicking that he's going to leave because when his mother reappeared a number of years ago and was dying, and he went off for 3 years to take care of her. So now that his uncle has returned, they think looking for money again.
Okay.
The woman who raised him is completely like over the top panic that he's going to leave. But this is just a way to understand his character a little more, because it made no sense that when Park Min-young's character confessed to him a couple of episodes ago, it kind of made no sense that he was like, you like me? Oh, that's great. Like the answer,
right? Because he's been in love with her since he was 10. That's weird.
I know, exactly. But it's because his family, blood is thicker than water. His uncle just said, I think 4,000 times in the episode, we are people who can't live with anyone else. So it's like, he was born to people who could only be alone. And who weren't social in any way, but he was raised by people by a real family who loved him and made him, he's totally part of that family and community. So it was just beautifully told.
Okay,
and
nice.
So
good.
Park Min Young's character is all giddy now. It's very sweet, but then she'll flip again and she'll be like dour and serious. And I kind of love that. I kind of love, because I think she's so beautiful and just so ethereal. And then to see her kind of playing this character whose mind is racing and just has this look of like, I'm not buying what you're telling me.
That's kind of how I felt about her in Queen for 7 Days.
Yes.
Like she was, I could really, that's probably my favorite role of hers that I've seen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So the one problem I'm having with this show is that Im Se-mi's character has like disappeared.
And like that is the best, the betraying best friend, right?
Yeah, because she's a really wonderful actress. And I thought that there was going to be more of a relationship between her and Haewon, Park Min Young's character. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's where I got Haewon. Her character.
That's right. Yeah.
So she's pretty much disappeared. I'm sure she'll come back for episode 15 and a half. But,
exactly.
So that's kind of a bummer. Yeah.
That's funny. I'm sorry. Because, you really liked her. You thought that was going to be fun. Here's my question. Like, people like EJ Wook, I feel like EJ Wook is being, like, is he not being utilized correctly? Because I feel like there's not a lot being said about him, and it's EJ Wook, for God's sakes. No, it is.
Because his character is a complete, he's such a, like, nervous chatterbox who is, like, the smartest
I can appreciate
kid.
that so much.
But he's the smartest kid in the class. It's like he's got ADD. Like, he can't pay attention to what's going on. Like, there's this beautiful, chamber, what do you call it? Like, trio orchestra playing at the bookstore. And he's just, like, chatting away. And they're all like, shh, shh. And he's an annoying character. That's why no one's talking about him. Because he's not, like, young, handsome stud in this. He's
like, glowering with all sorts of self-worth issues that someone's going to make okay.
Yeah,
we
that's
like
not
our
him
EJ Wooks.
Exactly. Instead, what we've got is a bureaucrat who is the valedictorian who still thinks he's a valedictorian who literally does not shut up. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I appreciate though that he's kind of branching out just from an acting exercise. So good for him. Good for him. Because he's like what, 22? He's got like decades of acting to do, right? So let him kind of figure out what works for him and what doesn't. Like, I appreciate the fact that, I mean, if you really look at his career, it was Memories of the Alhambra, which was a completely different character. Then he showed up in Search WWW, which was probably my favorite that I've seen him in. Right. Then you got him in what was
Extraordinary
You. Yeah, which was again another pivot to a different. And now he's whoever his agent is, but I'm bumped, really knows what they're doing with this young man. And it would be vast, in case you were wondering, which is Hyun Bin. So, well done, Hyun Bin. Yeah. We appreciate what you're doing with EJ Wook for the longevity of his career. And that is our little aside.
Yes.
EJ Wook's career.
Yes.
Because we have now officially gone stir crazy. We're just going to analyze their careers from afar.
I know. Yeah.
So 365, I kind of got back on board with this one for after 3 and 4, but you didn't. Is that my understanding? Like, you are kind of done with it?
Well, if you're really enjoying it, I'll watch this coming week too. But I think part of it was that, how are you guys sleeping? Because I'm finding that I'm back to insomnia, and so I was watching this at like midnight or 1 a.m. kind of drifting in and out, and then I would backtrack because I got confused, and I think I need to watch it and pay attention.
I mean, I think this one does warrant that because there are a lot of freaking moving parts, and I appreciate the moving parts seem to be where at the end of 2 I was like, you're gonna burn through story, and I don't really know where you're going. Like these 2 episodes for me, I felt like they congealed a lot. Like, we know that the game is afoot, which I'm really into. And Gamer Boy is like, guys, I'm telling you, this is what's happening. And now
I find that frightening.
Terrifying, right? But
right.
but I'm so intrigued by it. And then there were 4. Like, it's like, oh my God, it's like crazy, right? But then Shin Ga-hyun, she's now realizing that everybody who's about to die gets this basket of flowers. And so there's that added element. And now we have this person who we don't know who it is delivering the basket of flowers. So it might even be that Shin, who we thought was the bad person, might not be our big bad. She might be just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And so I'm actually kind of back on board with all of the crazy machinations that are happening, because everybody seems to be connected to somebody in the group. And so that to me is super, like, all of those. And if the writer can keep this kind of going, it's going to be satisfying for me. Anyway.
It's just that a basket of flowers,
right?
This really gorgeous, lush, basket. I was like, oh my God.
And then my other thing was that cracked me up is that not everyone, but like, Ga-hyun is like, she's basically this basket of flowers. I'm like, no, it's just flowers. It's just like, oh my God, but it showed up again. And they keep talking about this basket of flowers. And then they finally get a 4th one to when they're all meeting there at the end of episode 4. And then they finally read the card. Why did you not read the first 3 cards? Like, maybe if you already thought that it was something, maybe I have quibbles, obviously, because I always quibble.
Oh, yeah.
But that was kind of like, but I appreciate where they opened it up and it was like, you're next. But who is it? Because they're all there. Who is it delivered to? So was it delivered to Shin? So is it her? She's next? And so I kind of got back on board with it, because it was fun and enjoyable from a, just kind of a thriller-esque kind of way. Yeah. So it was kind of like, it just made it was a really easy watch for me, which was really enjoyable.
Oh, that's good. But like the music in the show is really weird.
It's hilarious.
And do you remember that moment? I think it was maybe at the top of, I can't remember. It's the top of 3 or something. Our detective was in the car with Ga-hyun, and he like went to touch her face, and then this K-pop song kicked in, and I'm like, okay, that song means something. I don't know what it does. And then she's like, get away from me. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Where did we go?
I don't think it was a K-pop song. I think it was because it was a song I recognized, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like we need to go to video to find out what song that was, because that was okay. Hold, please.
So we stepped away to look at the song because it was making us
making us crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And
it just cracked me up. Like, it was just it goes with that 80s synth vibe, right? So the song, go ahead, because you know it. I don't recognize it.
It's a song called Reality by Richard Sanderson that was used in the Korean film Sunny.
Okay.
So the song came out in 1980. So I'm sure there's some other layers of meaning there that I'm not getting right now. But
oh my God.
Yeah,
I just thought it was hilarious. And I think that's what it is about this show. Like, there's a lot of dark shit going on, but I find the kind of, like, again, junior detective action with Nam Ji-hyun and Lee Jun-hyuk, like, running around and trying to solve this on their own, because she's a writer of this webtoon about a murderer, so she knows. Like, I just find the humor of what is happening.
She has a board.
She has a board. Yes. She's a murder board. So there it is. And I just like her on a stakeout with him where she's reclining, all of a sudden she pops up. Like, I think maybe that's what it is. That's just bringing me some joy. Like, I don't know why, but it reminds me of like one of those like 80s caper movies, with the synth music and now this song. And it just, so yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's something about it that is just, so I'm back in after episode.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I do recommend it. For
Very
sure.
Good.
All right. Nobody knows. I am smitten with this show, and that's a really weird word to say for this show because it is really dark and there's a lot of things going on, but I love it. I do. It's just, I'm super affected by the 3 young boys, and I want them all to be wrapped in bubble wrap and saved. And I am constantly worried about them, but they seem to be having growth. And like our little boy who was cutting himself, what was his name? Oh, Yoon Jae-young. So Ha Min Sung, he cuts himself and stuff because he just has a really rough life. And then his best friend, who also was his driver, who also was a thug, got killed. And so he's going through a really rough time. And so him and Dongwoo have kind of become friends because of their shared friendship with Eunho. And Eunho finally woke up at the end. So I'm like, I'm feeling very, which I'm scared because, you know, it is an OCN drama. I'm very nervous about the 3 young boys, but I'm hoping they all make it out alive and in their friendship intact and their sanity intact because, and then I'm really enjoying Kim So-hyung as our detective. She has just such a soft spot for these poor young boys that are just kind of tossed away because of whatever, like societal issues or parental issues and stuff like that, because I don't know if it's because of her friend that she wasn't able to help, but she really wants to help these young boys. And then Roo Duk-hwan's little crush, Sun Woo's crush on our cop is adorable, and I love it, and I cannot get enough of it. This time he gave her a sucker because you need sugar to keep your energy levels up, and she was like, I don't need this. He's like, just take it. And she did, and then after he left, she ate it, and I was like, oh. Like stupid shit like that. Like it makes no sense, but I'm like, I'm all in. And
so yeah, he on the up and up? He's not hiding anything to do with the church. He seems to be.
He seems to be. Now again, OCN, things could go wildly awry. We are on episode 9 and 10, so we've got like 6 episodes left. I'm afraid it could go wildly awry, and he is a bad guy. But he does seem genuinely horrified by what has occurred, and we did find out in these 2 episodes that it is our little hotel cabal that chased Eunho. And not only did Eunho go to the roof, but because, thank God, he had this life-saving training in Sung-woo's class to use the rappel off a building. Thank you. He repelled from the building. Oh. And so as he was rappelling off the side, which is why he didn't die from the fall, because he fell 10 floors. And I was like, it's a miracle. And they're like, no, what happened? And then so he repelled, and then as he was rappelling to the floor, to the ground, obviously, our big beefy guy from the player, who is, what is his name? Taewon Suk, so Ko Hee-dong, he starts pulling the rappel back up, and so to save himself, Uwon like drops. And that's how he survived, because he actually didn't fall 10 stories, but he did fall a considerable amount. So we found all that out. So we do know that, and so everyone's looking for this book that Brian, as we lovingly call him, from Search WWW, gave him. And so it's this book of whatever. I don't know if it's all the dark secrets of the church. We don't know what it is. But at some point, Eunho actually read it. And so he does know what's in it, and he hid it somewhere. But of course, he is woken up, and we find out from the trailer going into this week's episodes. What does he have, Marisa?
Memory loss.
Memory loss.
Yes. Trope number 17.
There it is. Yes. So he has amnesia. And so now it's him trying to why won't anyone tell me what happened? And, and so we have all of that happening. But I am, like I said, I'm smitten. I'm smitten with an OCN show, and it makes no sense. And it's a really weird word to use, but the story isn't really compelling me. And it's not so much that I'm super invested in any of maybe that's what it is. I'm just really invested in the characters. And so I really like the people in it. So I'm attached to them and what is happening in each of their storylines. But the actual crime of it all, I'm just kind of just washes over me. But actually seeing these characters every week is why so I think that's why I use the word smitten.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, because it was, high school dramas are not my favorite. And this was so focused on these 3 teenage boys. I'm like, I don't know how I'm feeling about this. And then when one of them's in a coma, I'm like, I think that's the last thing I need. It's but when Jang Young Nam is your out of control mother, there's something so compelling about watching her. So I get it that maybe this show is less about what's happening to these kids than how they're all interacting with each other.
And that's what it is. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And Crazy Town Park Hoon.
Oh, I was going to say, Park Hoon is hilariously terrifying. He's bonkers. Like legit bonkers. And I think that's also the thing. He's just so fun. Like, it's a horrible thing to say with someone who is an awful character, but it's so fun to watch him like reveling in like the awfulness of this character, and everyone around him. Like, there's no one around him who's like, hey, boss
like
man,
rein it back.
Like, ooh, maybe we shouldn't. They're all like, this is amazing and I love it. Like, even Ko Hee Dong, so Taewon Suk, because he screwed everything up and he ruined his hands, like he scratched up his hands pulling the kid back, Uwon back up. They basically had to come up with a way so he doesn't get investigated for why his hands are a mess. So Pak Hoon sends him into the kitchen. He clears out the kitchen and he drops his hands into like boiling water so that his hands are completely destroyed. Without even, like, he literally just looks at the boiling water and was like, well, I gotta do it.
Good idea.
They're good. Like, they're completely 110%, like they buy in all of it. Like, it's crazy. And so, yeah, like, I think the thing that we always talk about when it's like about high school kids, like if it's from the point of view of the high school kids, like if this was a story more about Dong Myung and more right. and his relationship with Sung Min and like what their trials and tribulations were at home, I probably wouldn't be into it so much. But it's more the adults and how they see how these kids are being treated and how they want to make their lives better. And I think that may be why I'm enjoying it a little bit more than if it was about all their teenage problems. The bullying aspect is horrible. And if it was more about bullying in high school with these teenage kids, I'm not sure I would be as invested in it. Not because I don't think that's a horrible thing. It's just from a storyline, the storyline itself, I'm more into what the adults around them are doing.
Very cool. Good.
So that's just maybe what I'm thinking.
Maybe I'll drop back in.
I'm really enjoying it, but again, I think it's just, I'm really enjoying the characters and what the wacky stuff they're doing. Where I'm just like, what? Oh, that's wow. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, 365. No, it's not 365. Nobody knows. That's what this is. Nobody knows. Nobody does know. And that's what's amazing in the show. No one has a clue what the fuck's going on. And we really need to figure it out. Anyway, all right. Next up. Okay. Peace of Your Mind, episodes 3 and 4. My first note is good God show.
What do you mean?
She died in that? Like, what? She died in Norway? Like, what the? Come on, show.
I know, because she just has to live in that little piece of AI device.
Now,
whatever that is.
Huge issues with the AI device. Like, huge moral issues with what is happening with that. And so I think that's where I'm running into a small problem with the show as a whole. Because, A, she didn't concede to having her entire personality put into this AI device. And then my next question is, how is it by just using her voice and putting in what you know about her personality, suddenly she's having full conversations that only she had with our lead girl, Han So-woo? How is she remembering these conversations? Like, explain this AI to me, A. B, explain to me how it is that she actually agreed for this to happen when she wouldn't even have a conversation with him.
I know. It's such a confusing little device because there's nothing else about this show that's sci-fi.
Nothing.
Or technology. And then you've got this, like, you're basically talking to Hal, right? From 2001: A Space Odyssey in this box. And you're like, where did it come from? But if you don't ask those questions...
Right.
Then.
Come on. You knew I was going to ask these questions.
I know.
I feel it kind of weird and creeper or stalkery. Like, dude, she wasn't in love with you. She married someone else. Like, what is this? Like, like, I want to love it. Like, I literally wrote at the end, I was like, oh, this is what weirdly sweet when at the end, like, the AI outs so that she has a crush on Hwan. And I'm like, oh, this is oddly sweet, I think. Like, I don't know how to feel about it, Marisa.
I know. This is what
I don't.
It's like you have to like oddly like check your morality on some things on this show. But I put it aside. Morality, consent, steal of her. So I guess focused on the fact that this character existed only so that there could be this emotional touchstone in this piece of like AI,
right?
Because Chae Soo-bin's story, who plays So-woo, with her parents, and the chair just got me.
Oh, the chair! I know. Did you?
I
and
know.
then the chair and her mom. So we have both. We have both. Chang Hyun-jin and Lee Jung-hoon in this one. I'm like,
yes. So two of the three
love
parasite
him so much.
women, or two of the four parasite women, are in this drama.
Yeah,
I know.
I was like, what?
I love seeing them.
I love seeing them so much.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's so many things that I'm really enjoying about the show, but I just, every time that stupid AI thing speaks, and like, I'm just like, oh, I just feel so uncomfortable that young man, like, you should have gotten over this a decade ago. Like, what is happening right now? Like,
I know.
It's called therapy, not this. Therapy. Maybe if he had gotten outside of this Jisoo bubble, maybe he would have met someone and would have gotten over it sooner, is what I'm saying. Because clearly, now that he's outside of it and has met So-woo, I mean, obviously he can develop feelings for other people.
That's right. Except that you need all of this heartbreak and all of this stewing in it in order for him to be motivated to create this technology that's going to help Lee Jung-hoon. Help Lee Jung-hoon, because she's I can't remember her affliction. Is she losing her memory? What is
something? Yeah, there's something. Whose mom is that? I was very hazy on who that was.
She's the mom. She's the mom of one of the boarders in the house.
Is she the mom to the young man, Kim Chang-suk?
I think so. So. Mm-hmm.
And then help me with this. I was really confused why the one boarder was so upset finding out that the boarding woman and the guy were getting together. Like, I know.
I don't really get that either, except they were just saying she's so young and she had a crush on him.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. And then when she didn't get what she wanted, she had to leave the house.
I was very, very, I literally was like, wait, I kind of need to know what's going on right now because I'm very confused. And I kept waiting for a big reveal to happen and there was none. So so it was just that she had a crush on him and then was angry that he liked the boarding mother, boarding house lady instead.
Yeah.
Like he liked an older lady and I was really
well, I think that's kind of a thing, right? For young men to like older women. It seems like young women have a problem with that.
Oh.
I think. So, and they needed some device to get her out of the house.
They did, absolutely. But I just thought it was just strange. It was just, it was odd to me. It was just very odd. Okay. But I don't know, because I will say this. At the end of the show, I was getting ready to dump it because I was like, listen, I just am morally having a problem with the whole setup. Mm-hmm. But then the ending, I was like, I literally wrote my notes. I'm like, well, this is oddly sweet. Damn it. I literally wrote my show. Damn show. I wanted to dump you and now I might not be able to. So I might at least check out one episode next week and see how I feel. But overall, I want to love it. I do. I feel like I'm going to say this a lot today. But I want to love it, but I just am having some problems with that.
I know. And I think for you, if they start focusing a little more on Young Sheik from Kingdom.
I was going to say, I need them to spend more time with that second couple. If they did that and I could split my time equally between them, I think their what is her name?
Hyena.
Yeah. Her quirky little manager of that studio, I love her so much. So her and Young Shim, whose actually name is not Young Shim in the show, but Gang In-wook, who is our dead Jisoo's husband, their relationship is really intriguing to me. And so I want to see both of them flourish. So that might be the one reason that I stick it out if they start to become a bigger, and they are both main roles. So I feel like we need to kind of start digging in there. I think that might be what it is. So, all right. I'll be team second couple, which seems to be a theme with me.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, that was Monday, Tuesday. Woo! Wednesday, Thursday. Because of drops like crazy, as we spoke about earlier, we have one show. And my light almost came tumbling down.
Oh,
okay. Oh, we're good. Okay.
Okay.
We have one show, and it's all Marisa. Hospital playlist. Go. Are we loving it?
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
I love the characters in this. And I love that even though we have these really kind of intense problems with patients in the hospital, it's kind of, we don't go so deep there. It's really, the patient's story are really for us to understand our main five, their characters better. And so we're getting to know them through the circumstances that they have to deal with in the hospital. And, but I love these Reply series producers and directors so much. And there's just such a great light touch to how they unfold story, and it's so delightful and so entertaining, and I'm just loving them so much.
Okay, good. Okay, so what was our big story this week? Like, is it just more of the same, or what did we learn this week?
Well, we got to we learned a little bit more about Cho Jung-suk's character.
Okay.
And also a lot more about Kim Dae-myung's character. And Cho Jung-suk, so he's a single father. You know, his wife who came, I got confused last week. I thought, so his wife came to tell him that she wanted a divorce. And then someone close to him got in an accident. And I thought it was his wife, even though she was in a military outfit all of a sudden. But we discovered this week that's his sister. So, and his sister is played by Kwak Sun-young, who was in VIP.
Oh, that's who his sister is from VIP.
Yeah.
Who was his wife then?
Her name, the actress's name is Kim Yoon-se, and I don't recognize her.
Oh, gotcha.
But they actually do. So I got confused because I think maybe at the end, I was like, wait, who's in the accident? Who's this person who's close? And I didn't recognize the names. I didn't realize.
So the sister got in an accident.
The sister got in an accident. And at the end of this episode, Jung Kyung-ho goes to take her to lunch. So I think, it goes out to the military base. So, yeah. But Cho Jung-suk had this hilarious moment. So one of the interns has confided to him that she has a mad crush on Yoo Yeon-suk, who plays Jung-won. And so they're standing at the elevator. They have glass elevator doors. And Jo Jung-suk is like, take the next elevator. And she's like, what? And he gets in the elevator and he blows on it and draws a little heart. And she's like, what? And then someone comes up and presses the elevator and it's him. And she's like, oh my God.
Okay, that's cute. All right, I mean, there's many bits of it that I'm like, I'm going to jump back in. So maybe this week I'll make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, it really kind of clips along, and then they will have their musical interlude where the five of them are playing in a band, and it's just so freaking enjoyable, and it's just, I love it.
All right. You always make it sound so enjoyable, so maybe I'll jump back in.
And this one was an hour and 20.
Oh, that's less. That's less than what it usually is, right? Isn't it usually like an hour and 30 plus? Oh God, it's so long.
I know.
I think that was what I was going to go hit play, but I didn't have enough time. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
All right. We'll jump back in. Well, wait. Okay. Wait, before we move on, what did we learn about Young Suk-hyung?
Oh, so what we learn about him is, so he's always calling his mother, always. Right. And you're like, But you discover in this episode, so he's in OBGYN, and you discover in this episode his great capacity for empathy and understanding of, because there's a very, very tragic childbirth that happens, and some of the young interns don't understand why he's asking for certain things, and then it's slowly kind of explained and revealed, and you're just like, oh my God, he cares so much. And then it turns out his sister was killed in a car accident, his father was cheating, and his mother has a stroke, all in like, I don't know, they just kind of tell you this, and you're like,
good Lord.
What? But it's not, it's kind of a different kind of K-drama whiplash, because it was just kind of spoken. But then you understand why he tells his mother, he's like, leave him, divorce him, and you and I will live together. And she's like, I'm not going to give him that kind of happiness and satisfaction. But then you understand why he takes such good care of his mother. I mean, he's such, and you also understand why he was the one who insisted that the band form, because the music is so important to him, and having his friends there and playing, it's so important to him. But yeah.
All right. Oh, okay.
They're all good people. Except Jung Kyung-ho, who, I mean, he's a good person, but we've talked about his glare. Oh. There's this moment where he glares at our, he's a surgical intern, but he was the husband in The Cursed.
Oh, I love him. I know. I love him, but he's an idiot. He's an idiot in this one.
He's an idiot. And there's this moment where Jung Kyung-ho just gives him this glare, but they're in surgery. So he's got his cap, he's got the mask, he's got the magnifying glasses on. And with all of that stuff, you can still see him shooting like lasers of death.
He is he's a master at it. Like it's amazing. Like it's amazing.
It totally
he's so good at it. He's so good at it. The glare. The Jung Kyung-ho glare is amazing.
And then he picks up a guitar and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I just hit my mic. Oh,
that's so good.
So good.
He really can. He can pivot very well.
Yeah. Love him.
Nice.
Love this show.
Okay, cool.
Love it. Love it.
All right. Next up. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Dun, dun, dun. World of the Married. I'm not going to lie, Marisa. I want to watch it because everyone is saying it's so good. I think it's too stressful for me. And that's saying a lot, that I'm like, ooh, it's just too much.
I think if we weren't sheltering at home and not dealing with this global pandemic, then that kind of stress, I have to say, this show, holy shit. Like my notes are all so many fucking liars. That asshole, goddamn that bastard. I'm just like, that's all my notes say.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, I know. I only watched episodes 1 and 2, but listen, life is tense right now.
Right.
I mean, right? And I think, at least for me, I'm feeling things that that maybe I haven't felt in a long time, or that I'm feeling more often, and just trying to navigate those feelings. And so for me, a K-drama really needs to be an escape right now. Yeah. And this show, it doesn't
sound like you're escaping anything. It just
I know.
Sounds like
the thing is, though, it is so well done.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Kim Sie, who is our lead female, is unbelievable. She is such an amazing actress, but her character is put together and smart, and her husband is the biggest freaking asshole on the planet, right? And her friends are all liars. And it's like, if we weren't dealing with what we're dealing with in the world, there would be so much juiciness for me in seeing her build up to this revenge. But in order to get to the revenge, you have to go through all this shit. And it's like, it's too hard to watch for me now.
I think that's my problem. It's like, I want to hit play, but everything I see on Twitter is so like, oh my God, they went there. If it wasn't so awful, that would be really hot. Like, and I'm just like, I kind of need my K-dramas to give me that more of a visceral satisfaction quicker than a 16 episode long con. Basically.
Exactly. Because her husband and the woman the 24-year-old he's having an affair with, you just want to throttle them so much. And I'm not taking any joy in watching that right now.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Man, though. Because this is this is Misty good, you know?
Right. Because it's done by the Misty people, right? At least the director, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
I feel
like who is the writer on that?
Ju Hyun wrote it, and they wrote Revolutionary Love and My Horrible Boss. Wow. Ooh, this is a step up.
Yeah, right?
Holy cow, yeah.
So I feel bad because I feel like this is such a Jen kind of show, but I don't have it in me because it just seems so exhausting. I think
it's a hard watch for me. It's hard. Yeah.
Well, if it's a hard watch for you, I'm in big trouble. Because you enjoy those more like, the more what is the word I'm looking for? Like you like difficult shows.
Yeah.
Like you enjoy them more than I do. I'm just like, it's too hard. It's too much. And you're like, I love it. You're like, it's fantastic. The crazier, the better. And I'm like, but yeah. So if you're like, it's too much, I will be overwhelmed. It'll be like, it'll just be like,
I know. Yeah. And I have to say, alternate universe me would love this show.
Right?
You know, but with the reality we're living with right now.
Right? And we're going into our second, we're going like, I think this is like, we're heading into month 2 of this. Like, with no end in sight. Oh my God. I'm starting to have a panic attack. Okay. All right. Let's move on to happier things.
Yes.
Let's move on to happier things. Rugal really isn't a happier thing for me, but I can honestly say, I can just be like, Rugal, I tried. I wanted to love you a lot, but you bring me no joy.
I know. I'm disappointed too. It's like, I think it's because, well, one of the reasons is because this team, they all hate each other. And like, you already have enough of a bad guy with Park Sung-woon, who is delicious in this role.
He's amazing as a bad guy, right? Like, that's the only thing that I enjoy. Like, that's it.
I know. But this team is not a team, and they're all sniping at each other and glaring at each other and betraying each other and like doing secretive things with it. You know, I'm just like,
and we all know that I love Chae Jin-hyuk, but his character is atrocious. Like, he's got so much bravado that there's nowhere really for him to go. He's never wrong. He's always going off mission. He's always doing his own thing. Like, are you kidding? Like, dude, you are not a team player at all. And I get that that's probably the arc that he's supposed to go on. But the storytelling to me is just so clunky with it that I'm just not enjoying it. Like, I mean, I wish I had just let it wash over me, but I'm like halfway through an episode and I'm like, how did we get here? Like, where was the intel about this family being abducted in the middle of the street? And then all of a sudden Rugal is on it, but how did we know about it? Like, why are we here? Like, what is happening, show? What is happening? And I just got to the end of episode 3 and I was just like, I don't want to watch 4. I would rather rewatch episode 14 of Hyena. So that's what I did.
Oh, good plan. I know. Right? Bye-bye, Rugal. I'm
sorry. I wanted to love it so much. And all the pieces are there, but it's just not gelling for me for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Right?
We tried.
We did. Cuts have to be made.
I know.
A shelter-in-place order.
I know. And if Chae Jin-hyuk and Lee
Seung-gi, that one, like that one.
If that happens, we will be there for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's always another one around the corner that we can definitely try. Maybe I'll love that one so much, and it'll make no sense because it'll probably be, just something. It is. It's weird. It's just that one thing that just gels it for me, and I couldn't even tell you exactly what that is. It's not because I love the woman that is on the team. Like, I really like her, but her story's kind of a mess. Like, there's nothing for me to really latch onto with Rugal. And so,
that's the thing with K-dramas, because sometimes you, who are part of the K3, comment to us that you don't understand why we don't like something. And, we try to explain it as best we can. And sometimes we're just disappointed. Yeah. But that's the beauty of it. It's like, you love it, which is amazing.
It's great.
Yes. And the other beautiful thing is that there's going to be another one. Like, Chae Jin-hyuk's going to be in another drama, like Lickety Split.
Like that. Like, super fast, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's what it is. There's always, I think, like you just said, like, there's always something in a K-drama that is going to appeal to you, maybe not to me. And I mean, even just with all of, like, just you and me, Marie. So, like, there's somewhere I'm like, no.
I know.
And you're like, what? I love it. And vice versa. Like, I mean, it happens all the time. So, I think Rugal for me and for you as well, it looks like it's just not hitting the right notes for me. And I don't know why. I wanted to. Like, it has all the pieces that I would love, but it's just not. So.
Oh, well.
But the one that I say this every week, and every week I keep waiting for it to go off the rails. But we are at episode 14, you guys. And I didn't think I could love Hyena more. And I do. Like, it was this week not so satisfying?
So satisfying. Satisfying.
It was
oh my God.
Crazy town satisfying.
Yes. Because that what is it? What do they call it? I was going to say tribunal, but it wasn't. The law.
When they did
Why
the
am I
bar
blanking?
association.
Yeah, so when the bar association came for them, and you're looking at Kim Hae-soo, Jangum-ja, like having to answer to all these this panel of old men. I was just like, it's the same the world over, and I love her even more.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic.
With her like playing around with them. It was,
and they were all like, oh, like it was
I know.
So
ridiculous. Like, screw you, I will play you.
Play you so hard. And then you got poor Hee-jae over at the other side being like, yes, we were in love. I'm so heartbroken. And she's just like, yes, I found him sexy and attractive. And he's just like, I was so wrong. Oh my God, but can we talk about Bum Paul, man? Come on. What? I have to give a shout out to Christine who commented on another one of our things. Yeah, did you learn nothing since Kingdom about where your loyalties lie? Sir, did you learn nothing in millennia? Like, what is happening right now?
That is so true. You got reincarnated and you still hadn't figured it out.
You still haven't figured it out? Like, I was so disappointed because when him and his girlfriend had their little, like, lunch and she was like, we have to stay loyal. I was like, yes, oh my God, I love them so much. But then when they had the little flashback, just stab you in the back, KJ. Poor, and I do have to say this. Like, I am loving, like, we've said this almost every week. The characters are great and I love them. But poor KJ, man. He's been betrayed by almost every single person that he put any amount of trust into this show.
I know.
Mr. Song,
his father.
Now, Gi-hyuk, Bumpal, and of course, the big one with Gum-ja. Like, this poor man should just be on a revenge rampage right now, and he's just like, I'll get you. It's all good. People do what they do, and I'm just like, what is this character? Like, I mean, I love it, but I'm like, you're gonna punch somebody eventually, right? Like, what is happening?
I know. So the only problem that I have with this show, and maybe you can talk me through it, or maybe the resolution is coming, is that they're like, yay, we got him as a client. And it's like, he didn't kill his girlfriend, but he used to abuse her. So what's happening here? How is Jang Gum-ja okay with this?
I don't know. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one for me. Yeah. And I feel like we unfortunately are headed into the direction of the young woman who got murdered being into some like shenanigans that was the reason she got murdered. So there's going to be kind of this weird scapegoat situation. And so I think that's probably the only misstep in this whole story for me. But I'm until it actually is a misstep, I'm going to hold tight that maybe it'll be explained that while they are going to basically get him out of jail for murder, there's gonna kind of be that
there's got to be a reckoning.
There's got to be a reckoning, and I feel like kind of like that reckoning with the bully kid, like how Hee-jae played that one. I feel like there's got to be. I feel like there has to be, but
because they haven't let us quite forget it. No. I mean, her secretary,
June?
June
so much.
Was like, it's not your fault. So I don't think we've forgotten that. So I'm just hoping that in 15, 16, we're at the end. It's like, I want the answers, but I'm so sad.
I know, right? Yeah. So I feel like because I think the way they set it up in like last week's episodes, not this week's, but last week, is where Hee-jae was kind of like, this girl died and you sent her back in there and we're not, and Gum-ja was like, you're his lawyer though, so get on it. But then we had the reverse, again, that mirror situation where when her cop buddy was basically giving her the intel, she said, but she was murdered and I own that. And so for her, she was like, finding out who really killed her is the best I can do for her now. And I don't think it was him. So I kind of feel like that's going to be the play.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make it right. But I mean, unfortunately, I don't know what else, where else they could go. Right.
So the other thing is the Netflix screen grab, if you go to Netflix, is that it looked like Jangum-ja, Hee-jae, and Mr. Song's comatose wife walking into a courtroom.
What?
So that's Netflix. I think I have to, because Netflix grabs different images from the show. I'm pretty sure that's what I was looking at the other day. So I'm gonna have to check that again.
Oh yeah, check that, because that's
I know.
Because again, what did we say last week? Like, how are you? Or what during one of our live Hyena rewatch when we did our after chat? How are we going to wrap up all these threads in 4 episodes? They are burning through story, and they did a great job this week. Like, I feel like we got dad kind of locked up. We kind of know what's going to happen there. We got the murder case kind of locked up there. We know what happened with the bar association. And now, oh my God, that scene. I mean, I have to say, I think one of my favorite Jangum-ja moves in this whole show up to date was when Hee-jae called her and she was like, he's like, what are we going to do? And she was like, you're walking back into this office and you are packing up your shit and you are walking out here with your head held high. That's what you're doing. I was like, that was my favorite moment. Like, her pep talk was like, and he did it. And I was just like, yes.
Love her.
Oh my God.
I mean, to see a female character this self-actualized, like she owns her shit, right?
Absolutely.
Over and over and over again.
But that's the thing I'm loving about this whole script is all the women are fully fleshed out characters. We even had lawyer Boo, I think is her name, Boo. She basically owns up to, not only does she like take, she knows that Hee-jae is into Jangum-ja. It never turned into a triangle or them against each other. Like, she actually respects how good Gum-ja was as a lawyer and uses her tactics and follows her lead, and then goes and confesses her one-sided crush to Hee-jae, but says, you can use me. And I thought that was a nice, again, juxtaposition of the use me thing. And he's like, I'm not going to use you because I don't want you to get involved. And so but that again, she doesn't become this like crazy, angry, you don't like me and you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that.
These are all competent female characters who are not ruled by their emotions.
Right.
So
it's not that they don't have them, but they're able to manage them. They're not these weird, over-the-top, hysterical, like, crazy pants McGee's, man. And I love that about them. And you got Ji-hoon, who's like kind of everyone's like caretaker, and I love her so much, so much. And then you've got Mrs. Kim, who's rolling in, is going to destroy Song, and I can't wait to watch that. And when she rolled into that lunch with Kevin, and she was like, no, sit down, Kevin, sit down. And then she got totally under Mr. Song's skin and then basically just strided out. I was like, she's going to destroy you. And I love it.
She did not even flinch when that tumbler went like flying by her head. She was like, she stood her ground.
But that's what I'm loving about this whole show. All of the women are competent, intelligent, emotional, but they're emotional, but they're not insane.
Yes. They're not hysterical.
Right.
Yeah.
They are on top of their shit, and they all are different variations of what, and I love that. It's all these different brush strokes of what women are. Which is so amazing. Yes. And I love it so much.
Love it. Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's just so good.
We have to do another Netflix party. What should we do?
I say we do 14.
Okay.
I mean, I'll put a poll out, but right now my vote is 14.
No, let's just do 14.
Because it's so right. I mean, because it's
so satisfying.
We always talk about coat porn at the end, but oh my God, Ji-hoon busting out the full model thing at the end, where he's got that full coat with the sleeves and his thing and his sunglasses. I mean,
the sunglasses are so on point.
I was so into his cuffs coming out of the bottom of his jacket. I don't know what it was. It was something about that. And then that whole row of them putting on the hats and the scarf and like all of them striding.
And there was that was so it was so 18, right?
It was so awesome. I loved it so much.
She had this red alligator briefcase in the episode. I was just lusting over that one.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta look for that.
Yeah, and I love the fact that people quit at Sung and Kim to come and join their little ragtag team over at Chong Law Firm, and I'm just like, I kind of either they were going to take over Sung and Kim or he was going to leave and go and be part of hers, and so he kind of saw that coming. But it was just so satisfying to see it start to happen. This show is just it really is just, it's just so good and so satisfying. Like just every week. I think I'm going to hold out and not devour it as soon as it lands on Netflix. But every week I'm like, ooh,
I know.
I just love it so much. Oh my God. Okay. Thank you so much, you guys. Marisa, thank you. I needed to gush about K-dramas so badly this week. I
know. They're saving us, right?
They really are.
From going a little batty in our homes.
Right? And then it's supposed to rain here in LA for the next 4 days. And so we're going to be even more trapped.
I know. We are so lucky to have you guys, to have K-dramas, to be safe in our homes. Yes. We hope you are too. And Netflix Party. Yes. So we will put it out on Twitter and Instagram today, tomorrow. And figure out what time and what day and episode 14 of Hyena, because it's just
oh my God, it was so good. It was so satisfying, right, guys? I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong how satisfying it was? Like, please, come on. Amazing. All right. Until then, you guys, again, thank you so much for sharing your time with us and sharing your thoughts with us and keeping all of us taking care of each other, collectively sane with K-dramas, because they really are my happy place. They really are. And you're a big part of that. And Marisa, I love you. And I'm getting very emotional all of a sudden here about K-dramas. But anyway, we are the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa. And you. Thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you very much. And if you want to check out some of our what we're excited about coming up in April, you can go ahead and check it out right here. There we go. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.